An employee has the right to make a flexible working request if the employee has worked for the company for more than 26 weeks. It's important to note that an employee can only make a flexible working request once a year. As an employer, it is your responsibility to act reasonably once a request has been made to the company for flexible working. A flexible working request could include reduced hours or compressed hours, working from home, flexi-time working, and it's important to remember that anybody can make a flexible working request. It doesn't need to be just for childcare reasons. That, unfortunately, is a misconception made by employers. So what are the obligations as an employer once a flexible working application request is received? Well, it's quite simple. The employer has to respond and make a decision within 3 months of the application being received, unless you have agreed with the employee to extend this period. The employer must act in a reasonable manner when providing its decision upon the flexible working request. For example, the company need to assess whether or not there are advantages and disadvantages to the flexible working request application. If it is unclear from the application that has been made from the employee what the request is, then it will be necessary to request a meeting with the employee to understand what flexibility the employee requires. During this meeting, the company should also explain to the employee whether or not there is an appeal process once a decision has been made. If the employee, however, doesn't attend a meeting without any reasonable excuse for their non-attendance, and this has happened on more than 2 occasions, then it is okay for the company to contact the employee to explain that the flexible working request has been withdrawn. If the company agree with the flexible working request, then it is important that this is implemented and the terms of the contract of employment for the employee is amended within 28 days of accepting the request. If, however, the company do not agree to the flexible working request, reasonings must be provided to the employee to assist with the reasoning behind the decision. This will help with reducing the risk of the employee making an application to the employment tribunal. If the company rejects the application, the reasonings could include the request would be too much extra cost to the business, the workload cannot be reorganised, people cannot be recruited to do the work, the flexibility may affect performance and quality to customers, or simply there may be business planning that is already in motion that the employee is not aware about, and there are going to be changes that won't sit in line with the business. Whatever the reason, it needs to be communicated to the employee. It may be helpful to have a discussion with your HR department and also the employee when providing a decision if the application is rejected.